Oh, beautiful human. Happy Daisies Day. Katy Perry going to be hanging out with us very soon. I hope you're doing well. I'm sending you love. Before we hop into our hang with Katy Perry, why did I take my glasses off? I got to read this. I got to tell you about Arizona State University. By the way, message and data rates may apply. If you're considering going back to school, you should ask yourself the following questions. Hello. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits that you need transferred? Do you want to earn a highly respected degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of those questions, Arizona State University really could be the school for you. Arizona State University right now offering over 200 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You're going to earn the same degree. You're going to study the same curriculum that's designed by their award-winning faculty from wherever you are. And you're going to earn that degree, the same one that on-campus students earn, but you're going to do it on your schedule, on your time, whenever you want, from your house. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. If you want information, text Zach to 35517. You should discover for yourself why, ASU is ranked number 1 for innovation and for the 5th consecutive year. And why, 90% of the graduates are actually recruited for, a real job or given at least one job offer within 90 days of graduation. So, learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To find out more about ASU online degree programs, text Zach to 35517. Here's our conversation with the amazing Katy Perry. She's a special, special person. Let's talk about music because Daisies made me feel so good. So good. Thank you.
Thanks. The show must go on.
Oh. Wow.
I say that from a corner in my bedroom.
For me, Daisies empowered me, but what does that record do for you? And I want to dive into the lyrics because, it's just, to me, it was like an I Told You So record, a redemption song.
I don't know if it's like I told you so, but I would agree with the redemption song. Look, when you first start out in your career or in your dream or even having a dream when you're younger, your friends and your family sometimes can be skeptics or critics, and the eye rolls and the commentary starts, and that never stops. It just gets larger and larger and larger the bigger the stage or the bigger the career or success. And so, I some days I feel like I am starting all over again. Even in this quarantine, I feel like I'm starting all over again. I'm doing things like I used to do things when I was running like Friendster and MySpace and YouTube and Vimeo. I was just like Mission Impossible with all my stuff, being my own everything, checking all the boxes. But
there's fearlessness that comes with that, right? When you have when you're kind of doing it all and it's at your fingertips and you're responsible for it all.
Well, yes, there is, but there's a lot of fucks. There's a lot of fucks coming out of my mouth. But I know that it's worth more than the F's that are spewing out of my mouth, or that yesterday I was filming things till 2 a.m., trying to smile though your heart.
Literally.
Because the funny thing is I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put out this record in August because the truth of the matter is I have a baby coming, and when the baby comes, I'll be going into my own version of quarantine, and that might last pretty long until I just want to give it space, and God knows I'll have so much inspiration to write about the next go around. So I was like, I've been making this body of work for 2 years. People want to dance in the streets at some point this summer when it's safe. I'm going to help and provide some kind of soundtrack. And I think for me, but the realization is that okay, I said, yes, let's go, let's start. But it's like, everyone's like, okay, great. So we need this, that. All the asks are still there. It's just, you got to do them yourself. And so I'm uploading things to Dropbox for 2 hours. I'm like, okay, all right, I can do this. I've never stared more into a screen in my life. And my screen time is,
Probably.
Beautiful.
I've been thinking about getting those glasses that filter out the blue, but I don't know if it's bull squash or not.
I don't
Um,
know, but I mean, I think it's inevitable. It's like if you're trying to operate on any level, but I think what I hope is that Daisies gives people a feeling of like, okay, I've had so much time to reflect. Maybe I took things for granted in my life and put some dreams on the shelf. Look, when they say I can have my freedom back,
you
I'm
go
gonna go
for it.
for it. I'm gonna
That's
I'm gonna go for it.
so. Like, I want to know timeline here. When did you craft this record? When was it finished, and when did you start it?
I started it in February. I wrote it with a few people. One of them is John Bellion, who's
Oh
an
my
incredible writer.
God!
Mhm.
Human Condition changed my life. That's his second album, game changer for me. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. And I got to spend 3 days with him. And like the first 2 days, nothing came from us. And it was kind of like it was a bunch of star writers in the room. And we're like, wow, we've done so much, but we can't figure it out. And this is kind of toward the end of me writing my record. And I felt like I had said everything I needed to say. And so I was kind of like, I don't know, there's not a message coming out of me. And then finally this came out on the third day, and it was such a wild process. Like we had a wild session. Actually we were all eating and taking a break from writing Daisies, and John Bellion choked on some cauliflower. And like literally was choking, and the guys from Monsters and Strangers, who are producers, writers,
Massive.
yeah, they were there as well, and Jake Cash was there, and he started choking, and he started turning blue, and finally one of the guys came and gave him the Heimlich, and we were all screaming, and it was wild, and like it was, and John had like a real intense moment. He was like, man, it was real. So we have like this kind of like life altering moment when we were talking about like pushing up Daisies. It almost got a little too real. But he came back from it, and we're all healthy and alive. And
By the way, for a life altering song, this like because again, the way I'm hearing it is like I want to. The lyrics are so
Devil was
powerful,
Carter, he didn't want that song out there.
but like who didn't?
No, I was like, the forces of evil didn't want Daisy.
Oh, yeah. The universe was whole, getting with the cauliflower, but like maybe there was larger forces that don't want to hear these lyrics because they're brutally honest. Uh, like when you're talking about, I guess you're out of
I guess you're out of your mind till it
on
actually
my
happens.
notes because I wrote my notes on my computer that ran out of internet. I had to snap a photo on my way out. Told them your dreams and they all started laughing. I guess you're out of your mind until it actually happens. I mean, you start the song that way, and that is a powerful, that it just sets it up powerfully. Like, who are you speaking to? When you sing it or when you're writing it or in the booth doing it, do you picture one thing? Do you see someone?
I picture myself younger. I feel it today. I mean, like, I didn't know I wrote those lyrics today, and my dream, I didn't know when writing those lyrics in February that my dream today would be even to try and put out music and like have all these obstacles and so much uncertainty and so much unknown, and being pregnant and like having that level of uncertainty along
Yeah.
with it. I mean, I had no idea that it was just going to be like, phew, 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 phew. But I mean, I guess it speaks to a younger self for me. And I know that feeling, and I feel it even when I'm mentoring kids on the American Idol show. I can see it in their eyes. Absolutely. And, it's funny. I do come up with absurd dreams, and people are like, well, logistically and scientifically, it just doesn't exist, or it doesn't, you can't do it. Or, it's
All of your artistic creations, like,
yeah. So I'm still faced with that. And I mean, the kind of stuff that lands on the kind of comments that land on my socials are wild. So like, I don't really scroll down and read those anymore. It's a combination of both amazing and encouraging and just like utterly horrific, like you should get cancer and die on the daily. Oh yeah, it's wild, and it has
Fun.
been for 10 years,
Yeah.
or more, or I guess whenever the internet started allowing comments. That's why you see a lot of people don't allow comments, because it's just like the wild, wild west. So every day it's a choice for me to let that noise in or tune it out. And I think what Daisies is about saying, F off. I'm going to stay true to my path.
Is
Well,
that
is
what a
there
daisy represents?
No, the daisies at the end actually kind of is a little bit morbid. It says, till they cover me in daisies. So it's basically another way. It's a metaphor of until I take my
Until
last
the end.
breath.
Well, it's
Yeah.
crazy because when you first announced Daisies, I was like, oh, this is her announcing the name of her daughter. It's going to be Daisy. And then I heard the lyrics. I was like, oh, never mind.
Well, you know, flowers are rebirth. They go away in the winter and they come back. So
Now, is there anything in your career, whether it be a song or video, that was super successful that people were like, Katie, this is not going to work. Don't do it. But you're like, now you're like, look what it did.
Maybe I Kissed a Girl.
yeah, I mean, quite honestly, from the very beginning, they were like, no one's gonna play this song about bisexuality. And I was like, okay, well, everyone else in the real world out there is talking about it. So I don't know what kind of bubble you're living in, but and then someone took a chance actually in Tennessee and they played it, and it changed my life forever, of course. But yeah, I think, you know, from different music videos or from different tours, I mean, the record that I have coming in the summer is a redemptive record. It's a record about resilience. And I'd say that 75% of the songs on there are hopeful, empowerment, inspiring, you know, synonyms to firework and roar, and definitely maybe a little bit more grown, or just a few years older than when those songs came out. And that's where what I had to do, because I was coming out of like a, you know, I had Witness, which was my last record, and it didn't meet my expectations. And so I became clinically depressed. And so for the past 2 years, I've been on like a emotional, psychological journey.
How do you have expectations for this new album?
Not really. What I know is that I did my best, and that's all you can do. And the variables are so unprecedented this time. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, you know, put this record out and go on tour. And I knew that for myself but even if anyone wanted to put a record out and go on tour, they still can't. So it's almost like we're in the same playing field. But no, I mean, like, I'm just going to do my thing. And I'm grateful kind of for the leveling of the last record, because it took me out of this like loop of winning.
I understand that.
You know, and I'm like, I'm not here to win. I'm here to be a messenger.
And by the way, like to be a messenger, you have to be challenged. Like that comes with things. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you win, all good. I mean, like,
oh my God, I don't wish this trajectory like for 10 years and then just even a slight dip on anyone. You know, like a ship, if it navigates 1 degree off, you're on a different continent. So like when you're going so high and then you have one little tiny seismic shift, you feel it. It's so intense. And for a person, you know, artists are all made of feelings, and that's where they draw their inspiration from. And so, I mean, it's been an incredible journey, and I've ended up alive with a child in my body, and, you know, a partner that will, a partner that's so fantastic, even no matter what the hell I throw at him. I mean, I really test him sometimes. I'm like, can you survive me? I will show you. You think you can handle me? This is
so
all a test.
He doesn't laugh at ideas.
No, he does. He's great. He's like always, you know what it is like, I'm kind of moody generally, and he's just always in a good mood.
That's a secret.
beautiful balance.
I mean, but he like works out like six. He literally right now is turning into the Hulk, and I'm turning into Shrek. So
you're creating life, though. You're allowed to, like, you know.
yeah.
He's not doing anything like that.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
building
like,
a whole human inside your stomach. That's crazy.
yeah. I'm grateful, and it's good. I mean, I like this whole thing is such a what a time to be alive, right?
It is quite a time to be alive, and I do believe we're going to learn things from this, and hopefully we come out stronger. I hope. But it is scary to bring life into this environment too. It has to be.
My silver lining is really that, you know, my plan before pre-pandemic was just go until water breaks, and that would probably be like at the highest note of Daisies. Hearing them perform it
On TV.
yeah, Good Morning America. But I think now there's like a test run for me that I've been able to do of you know, just like finding routine at home, living in the small, because like it's wild. When I do these interviews, people are like, accolades this, accolades that, billions of this, millions of that. Wow. And I'm like, I literally can't make 3 fucking nourishing meals a day. And I don't know how to clean up after myself because I haven't done it for a while. Because I lived in a spoiled brat atmosphere.
You're also very busy too at the same time.
Yeah. But anyways, it's just like, but can you do regular normcore things?
What's the hardest thing to do, or what haven't you mastered? I mean,
I won't do dishes because they're never really over. Dishes are never really over. I won't do them. But what I will do sometimes is I will use the same plate, fork, knife, spoon the whole day.
I do that all the time.
I just think that's effective.
Great time saver.
And efficient.
Yeah, so great.
I'm curious what the best advice you've gotten so far about being a future mama. Because I'm sure everybody's lending their own little tidbits to you.
Yeah, I don't really ask for much of it, but my sister has 2 girls that I've been quarantining with that are 3 and 6, and also Orlando's son is 9. So we've got kids. We've got the energy of children around, which is fantastic. It's so beautiful. But I help my sister. She gave birth in her living room for both of them. So
wow.
I helped I was literally like, I was like sifting the poop out or like pushing the leg back. So I've seen it happen. So I'm not scared of it or anything like that.
Oh God, that scares the shit out of me.
Literally.
Literally.
But yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I used to be like so worried that I was gonna, you know, like my partner was gonna see something that was gonna be, and I'm like, honestly, this is life. I'm over that way of thinking. Like, you are in this ride with me 100%.
Or you're not.
And I don't know. I mean, I just, it's like, I guess what really scares me is, you know, going to bed at 6:30 and waking up at 5.
Yeah, that's a whole
night
adjustment.
owl, y'all.
Yeah. What do you do? You get your baby on your schedule and you make your baby nocturnal. You raise your child like an owl.
You know what I always think about? I'm like, when I always think about, like, you know, oh, maybe I shouldn't have that one extra everything bagel. I'm like, you know what? Like, Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain had a beautiful child that's totally healthy.
Yes.
Yes.
I can have another everything bagel. You know?
You can have 2 if you want.
I think about those like extreme in the 90s during like the height of whatever was going on. I was like, she's gorgeous and beautiful, and I'd be happy to have a daughter just like her. I mean, and have my everything bagel.
There's a name. I don't know if you thought of names for her yet.
What, you want her name the baby everything bagel?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, Elon Musk doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Have you thought of baby names?
Yeah, we have some ideas. But I think I want to meet her first and like look into her eyes and go, oh, okay, I know who you are now.
Come on. That's like, that moment is amazing. Creation of life is like, it's amazing to me. The whole thing. And by the way, to do that with your sister, like that is bonding forever. That is real fucking family.
Well, it's real now. I feel like, I don't know if anyone else is quarantining with their family or you have friends. Yes, it gets annoying. Yes, it gets insane. Yes, like I have locked myself in the car, parked outside of my house, and just cried and like said, stay away.
Yeah.
You know, like I've done that for sure. But I think there is definitely a bond that is being created with whomever you're quarantining with, that like you'll never forget this. It's not like a holiday. There's nothing comparable. And it makes, for me, it's made my family feel like a family again, which is great because, you know, we've all got our issues and stuff, but there's definitely silver linings that are coming out of this. But there's also like, you know, you're facing like massive bombs as well.
It's a lot, but you're facing it with your family. You know, there is, or whoever is that person, and there's something to it.
Yeah.
So do we have a date here on the album? And is the album even done? Because Daisies was done in February. I mean, that is fairly recent.
Yeah. It was, yeah, the record it's ready to go in some regards. I won't give everything away, but you know, and we've had to do a lot of pivoting because
Everything.
well, you're not allowed to shoot like
Music videos.
music videos. Like no one will insure music video. So you have to become really innovative. And, you know, I love being innovative. And especially with an innovative team that I have, like, thank God I have the team I have that's creative because they're like, okay, let's do this. Let's do that.
They're the best. Your Idol outfits, by the way, your toilet paper, your Purell. I mean, I bow down to you. I mean, truly.
Literally, thank you. We had like a 2-week period where we didn't know what was going to go on. I was like, you know, this is going to get kind of boring from our living rooms. I'm just going to like try and spice it up and hopefully bring some smiles to the television because this is a bizarre time. But yes, we have an album release date of August 14th. And yeah, we'll just be hoping to show off little bits and pieces along the way now, which is great.
And compared to the American Idol outfits, the Daisies photos have been very natural. Is that the vibe of this new album?
Not necessarily. You know, I was planning on doing a big music video, a big shoot, and I literally couldn't. I mean, that was like those pictures and the video that's coming was shot on Super 8 by a social distancing friend 2 weeks ago. So I was like, let's just go outside in my backyard and shoot this stuff and we'll see what we get from it. I'm not going to just put out a piece of music and let it just be that. I need, you know, I've been doing my own hair and makeup and adding to cart on Amazon for my and things. And, you know, I'm just like making do with what I have. I had a nightgown in my house. I put it on. My friend shot some photos in Super 8 and that's what it's going to be. And I really like I didn't want to be like, hi, I'm pregnant and everything, you know, because I didn't want to be that time capsule. But I was like, I can't. I'm just going to go with this flow. Yeah. And it's a lot more naturalistic than I would love, but this is what it is for right now.
Love. Katy Perry, you are 1 in 7 billion. I thank you for your time today.